Hey, yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to a little review of these Arrtx acrylic markers. This is a 30A set. I'm super excited to be working with Arrtx again, so go ahead and check them out. All links will be in the description. I remember I reviewed this same set, except it was 30B, so it was a different set of colors. And I think both sets like complement each other really well, but yeah, I absolutely love these markers, as you know. I think I've used them like so much in just like personal art because they're so easy to use and I feel like they add a lot to any piece. But here's me unboxing it and looking at all the colors for the first time. That was like an audible gasp because I was so impressed by these. I just thought they were so pretty, especially like the layout of all of them. So they come with these 30 paint pens, and then they also come with little stickers so you can like label the markers a little more easily, which I thought was super cute. Also, I'm so sorry in advance, but I'm so bad at swatching. I also don't know why I swatched white, but you can like kind of see it, you know? It's like wider than my paper, which I thought was pretty cool. Something really unique about these is that they're basically like acrylic paint if you put them into pens, right? So whenever you kind of layer these markers after they dry, they will basically like show up completely fine, if that makes sense. Like they're super opaque, so you can lay down a super dark blue and then put a red on top of it and you'll still see the red, like clear as day. Sorry, that was so corny. I've never said clear as day in my life, but there's a first time for everything. So I think that's like probably my favorite thing about these markers, is that you have so many chances to mess up. Also, halfway through these I realized I was so bad at naming these colors, especially when I got to the greens. There's only so many like aqua greens and cyans and turquoises that you can like really write down before it sounds kind of repetitive. So yeah, just like don't look too closely at the names. These are not the official names. This is like brain rot names that I made. When I said like the swatches are really disorganized, I meant it. Okay, I'm sorry. Here's me showing off like the barrel of one of them. These are like kind of different from the 30B markers, but I think it's literally just like the cap shape. I don't even know if that's like a thing because they made new models or something, but other than that, they like look pretty much identical and they work pretty much the same too. They just have a different color selection, so it's up to you. I really like the variety of shades. This one had a lot more pinks than the other one did, which I was really excited about because I remember whenever I was using the old ones, I would always be like man, I wish I had a pink. But finally we got some pinks, as well as like a lot of gray shades as well, and green. So like if those are colors that you would like to get more of, then I would recommend this set. But I'm going in with the drawing. I decided that the best way to use these was to kind of embrace the mistake that I could make. So I basically just like started sketching with the markers, which, you know, not the best idea I've ever had, but I think it's like a fun way to kind of approach it. I don't know, I've never really like drawn like that, just like straight on with marker without like any sketch or anything, but you know what, good experience. I can't even find the reference that I was using. I just like scrolled on Pinterest for a bit and I chose a random one, but to be fair, it does not look like the reference at all. I think I was just trying to get like a reference for like the lips and stuff, just because I feel like that would be really hard to do without like sketching first. Also, the last set, it had a lot of like browns, which I was thankful for, but like for lighter skin tones it wasn't really covered, but it had a lot of peachy tones in this set, so I tried to use those to the best of my ability. I'm sorry for like yapping about color selection, but I really like the colors that were in this set. These are brush tips, so I couldn't really get into like a lot of the details that I wanted, so I did go in with a pencil afterwards to kind of like mark where the eyes ended and started and like made everything more defined. I don't even really know what my like idea was. I was just kind of like layering and hoping that the idea would come to me later. Sorry, my throat has been so raspy. It's so hot outside and every night I sleep with like a fan like blowing directly in my face, so I think that's why, and I should probably like turn away from it, but like it's so hot outside I can't. Here I'm going in with the hair and everything. I really like how this turned out, honestly. I just thought it was so cute, like the short hair. I'm not sure if I like lengthened it later. I don't think I did, but I think it's really cute. I think here's whenever I initially got frustrated because I just got really mad at how the shape was looking because I couldn't really like define things. I think after doing the eyes, it was like my last straw and I just pulled out a pencil because I just could not do it anymore. For some reason the eyes looked better whenever they didn't have like much detail in them, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know, I think it just made the eyes like pop out more because they were the only thing that was solid when every other facial feature or like part of the drawing was more detailed or like layered. I don't know. It was especially difficult to kind of like work around the head shape because it wasn't like a definite sketch, and the head shape definitely looked like really wonky throughout this, but I fixed it a few days later whenever I came back to it. You know, whenever you draw something and then you like go to sleep or you see it the next day and then you absolutely hate it. That's kind of what happened to me whenever I looked looks back at this page, but I think I fixed the things that I really hated about it. At this point, I was just like, this is not my art style. Like, who have I become? I don't know. So I took out my pencil, I started sketching in some of the details, but before that, I think I was trying to like add the skin tone in. I should have used like the color I was using to sketch it, honestly, because this one looks a little bit ashy, and I like realized that, especially next to that actual peach color. So I decided to like go over it again and again, and then at that point I just got super mad. That's not really a fault of the markers. They were still able to like layer on top of each other really well, so all the mistakes I made, like, honestly didn't really even count because it just got covered up anyway. I think I was just like having a hard time like finding out how to like shade everything in. It's kind of like a learning curve, but like after you like find out some kind of style to use, it gets really easy, and it's really fun to like adopt like a different art style temporarily whenever you use these, because you're kind of like shifting how you're actually applying some supplies. So like say you're really used to using alcohol markers like me. Blending is like obviously harder to do with these, however there's less thinking that you have to do about like what colors to use first, because for alcohol markers it's all about layering. There's like a trade-off somewhere there, so you kind of just have to adapt how you use these markers, but once you practice for a bit it should be okay. I think this was like whenever I started going crazy and I just started adding like a bunch of different skin tones, and yeah, I finally caved in and went with pencil. I'm really glad I did this though, because if I didn't, I think I probably would have scrapped this piece. Like, I was like having so many conflicting emotions about it. Maybe I should actually look at swatch sheets more. I always make them because it's fun to like see all the colors like down and like, oh, like I have these colors, but I don't really reference them at all, which is like a bad habit, and I definitely should start doing that if I want to like make more thoughtful choices. But you know, I kind of just look at the nibs and I'm like, this one looks good. Also, I was literally right, this white is brighter than my paper. I was like so happy when I applied it. Just reminded me of every time I used my gel pens, except it was more of like, I guess, a thick gel pen. Also, another thing is that these work well with like pretty much any medium. Like, you can use alcohol markers and it kind of like blends in with them, and like it looks so pretty. Or like with colored pencils, you can have like a lot of like opaqueness that looks really cool, like the overlapping. Because they work like acrylic, you can use them with pretty much anything that acrylic works with as well. And you don't even necessarily have to be an illustrator. Like, I used these in the last video to actually like paint a little wooden panel, which is still like hanging up in my room, and it's like one of my favorite parts of like the decorations in my room. Like, you can use these with like Mod Podge, and it's definitely like an easier way to like DIY stuff, because I know whenever I use paint it's so irritating. But yeah, at this point in the drawing I was like finally feeling a little bit content with it. I just felt like I used like colors that really worked well together, especially that purple. Recently I feel like I've been developing same face syndrome. Like, I always draw these like big lips and then like the little white in the middle of them, and I need to stop, but it's like my comfort drawing. Like, I don't know what to tell you. There's something so satisfying about it, and it's like, to think I never used to draw lips in my drawings at all is crazy. Like, I can't live without them now. I think a reason why my art style has changed so much in the past year, at least in my opinion, is because whenever I took AP art, I kind of shifted more towards like a semi-realistic style, which is like different from this like anime girl, I don't even know, like style I have going on right now. If you guys want, I can do a little old AP portfolio tour from last year. I'm not like the most proud of it, but I did get a 5, and like if you guys wanted tips on that and everything, then I'd be super happy to do that for you. I also won't lie, I think I used like the Arrtx paint pens for like a lot of the paintings on there, so you know, just, you know, keep that in mind. Okay, when I added the pink hair, I was like in love. Like, I don't know what, this like reminds me of one of those like really like simplistic like, realism portrait things. Kind of looks like that character from Genshin. I actually forgot her name, but she's like the wolf. I don't know, I don't play Genshin. The like the wolf one. I think it's just like the shade of the hair. Actually, I played Genshin last week just to see if I could roll a 5-star, because of, I don't know, I always just like wait until I get those like the welcome back packages and they give you a couple wishes, but I never get 5 stars, so I think there's something rigged about that, even though I definitely have like 80 pity now. At this point I was like, okay, this is cute or whatever, but I have to add something special, you know what I mean? So I don't know why that started out by like adding the skin tone into the hair, but I think it added some like cool texture, at least, maybe, I don't know. I decided to like start outlining everything, so I used this purple one first because I really like the pop of color that it gave, but I don't know, it just looked a little bit off, but I think I kept it because I didn't realize that it looked off. And then I just did it for the rest of the hair, and then I moved on to the skin tone and everything. I just tried to like deepen all of the like shadows. I tried adding like, I don't know, that was supposed to be the neckline, and I was like, that looks so weird, so I had to like kind of blend it in. I should have waited a little longer because I definitely could have covered that up, but I'm I'm very impatient, and I thought this would add like some cool like muscle. No, it didn't. It looks weird. It just looks like she has like a rash like right there, and like honestly I feel bad for her. I'm sorry, girl, but it's okay. I really wanted to just like emphasize that purple more, so I actually made it the shirt color, and then I added more outline around her like face and her like neck area. But I still thought the page looked bland, so I just started like adding random colors. You know how yellow is the accent of purple? I started adding a bunch of yellow everywhere. I love using yellow, by the way. Like, it's like the perfect color to add to any piece. I don't think you could name like a single art piece that I would look at and be like, no, there shouldn't be yellow in that. Like, I feel like yellow just looks good in in every art piece, because there's like something about it, like the light that it gives or something. I don't know, I just think it's so cool. Since the background was looking a little bit bare, I started adding these like little leaves around her. I did not go about like coloring these in the best way, you know, because these are so opaque. Maybe I should have done the background first and then worked forward. I think that'd be a cool way to approach it, but also I think I would be super confused. So this is fine. I'd also be like wasting some paint because I'd have to like kind of layer on top of it a bunch. But yeah, I just added like literally every color because I wanted to like, you know, put all the colors in the set like kind of on display for y'all, because all of them are super pretty. I don't think I used all the grays for like this drawing, but they're probably great too. I just wanted to use all of like the colorful ones. I added a rose, a sunflower, a cattail, and like a blue bonnet thing. I really like how this turned out, honestly. Just like a little cute page in my sketchbook. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed kind of like going along with me. If you're interested in buying these, every link will be in the description. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I love you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye. Follow to deja vu.